You're standing on a planet that is actively rearranging itself, not metaphorically, physically. The ground beneath your feet is moving right now, slowly. Today on Zane Explains, we're dissecting tectonic plates, what they are, why continents drift, and how Earth basically runs on slow motion violence. Textbooks usually say something like, the Earth's crust is divided into plates. That sentence undersells what's actually going on. The outer shell of Earth, called the lithosphere, isn't one solid piece. It's fractured into massive slabs of rock, like a cracked eggshell wrapped around a hot, restless interior. Underneath that rigid shell is the asthenosphere, a layer of semi-molten rock that behaves less like a solid and more like extremely thick caramel. Important clarification, it's not liquid magma sloshing around like lava soup. It's solid rock that flows very slowly under pressure. Think geological silly putty. The lithosphere floats on top of this ductile layer. And those floating slabs? Those are tectonic plates. Here's where it gets weirdly beautiful. These plates move, not inches per second or even inches per year. Most plates move at about the speed your fingernails grow, a few centimeters per year. But give that motion millions of years and continents don't just drift. They collide, split, submerge, rise. The Atlantic Ocean is widening right now because the North American and Eurasian plates are slowly pulling apart along the mid-Atlantic ridge. Meanwhile, India is still slamming into Asia. That collision built the Himalayas, and they're still rising. Mountains are not permanent fixtures. They are active consequences. Now the real question, what's pushing them? The engine is heat. Deep inside Earth, radioactive elements decay. That decay releases heat. Heat causes convection currents in the mantle, meaning hot material rises, cool material sinks. Picture a lava lamp the size of a planet. As hot mantle rises at mid-ocean ridges, it creates new crust. As cooler crust gets dense and heavy, it sinks back into the mantle at subduction zones. That process is called mantle convection, and it's one of the driving forces of plate tectonics. There's also something called slab pull, which is exactly what it sounds like. When a dense plate starts sinking into the mantle, gravity helps drag the rest of it down. In other words, gravity and planetary heat are constantly recycling Earth's surface. This is not a static world, it's a conveyor belt. Plates don't just drift politely past each other, they interact in three major ways. First, divergent boundaries. Plates move apart. New crust forms, oceans widen, volcanoes emerge. Second, convergent boundaries. Plates collide. If one plate is oceanic and one is continental, the denser oceanic plate sinks beneath the other. That's subduction. If both are continental, they crumple upward into mountains. Third, transform boundaries. Plates grind sideways past each other. That friction builds stress until it snaps. Earthquakes are not random events. They are stress releases along boundaries that have been locked for years. When that stress finally gives way, the planet corrects itself violently. Now, here's the part textbooks mention once and then move on from. The continents were once one landmass, Pangaea. About 300 million years ago, nearly all land on Earth was fused together. Then it split. And before Pangaea, there were other supercontinents. And in the future, there will be another, assuming the world doesn't end before then. Earth cycles through assembling and breaking apart continents roughly every 300 to 500 million years. Which means the map you memorized in school is temporary. Florida won't always be where it is. California won't always hug the Pacific. Africa is slowly tearing itself apart along the East African Rift. The planet you live on is mid-transformation. Tectonic plates are the reason we have mountains, earthquakes, volcanoes, ocean trenches, and continents at all. Without plate tectonics, Earth might look more like Mars. Geologically quiet, mostly frozen in time. Plate movement keeps carbon cycling. It stabilizes climate over long timescales. It may even be one reason complex life was able to persist here. So when someone says, solid ground, understand something. It's only solid for now. The Earth beneath you is slow, massive, and patience at planetary scale is indistinguishable from inevitability. This has been Zane Explains. Next time you feel the ground shake, remember, it's not chaos, it's a planet breathing.